Please, can we get to meet you?
Well, my name is Yusuf Ali. I'm a lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria. And to the glory of God, I've been a senior advocate now for 25 years. I practice, our head office is in Ilorin, Kwara State. We have a branch office in Abuja and an office in Lagos. We do take part in extensive litigation. Of course, we do arbitrations as well. And our practice area covers virtually all areas of law: corporate, commercial, constitutional law, election disputes, resolution, and so on and so forth.
Thank you so much, Mr.
You're welcome.
Okay, quickly, we'd like to ask, what was the motivation behind you studying law or becoming a lawyer?
Well, to be honest with you, I will say that it's destiny. You know, for many people in our own generation, there was no proper guidance and counseling in any secondary school or anything. And you just try to see what are the areas of your strength. For me, for example, I was lucky. I was good in the sciences as well as in the arts and commercial subjects. When I tell people that I made an A3 in mathematics, people will be wondering, and you're a lawyer. I could have studied economics. I made an A1 in economics, A2 in geography, and C6 in chemistry, A1 in biology. So, and I still made an A1 in history. So, I was lucky. Of course, if it's now, probably those kind of subject combination would not have happened at all. But it was haphazard. So, when it was time to choose university, what course to do, maybe I was a bit luckier than most people. I was a matured person. By the time I left secondary school, I was well over 20-something. So it wasn't too difficult for me to start to weigh what are the options I had. And I went for law because I was looking for doing a course that is not science, but that is in the arts, that is professional. So, and that's how I can do it. How all this came about, I say it's destiny because I never had the history of any lawyer in my life. I've never seen a lawyer before that time, except to read about them in newspapers. So, and that was what happened.
Thank you so much, sir. So we would love you to share with us your best arguments in courts, if any, or any court experience you'd love to share with us.
Well, I've been very lucky. I've had a very good share of what turned out to be best arguments. You see, your arguments can only be said to be best when the courts agree with your submissions. And I've been very lucky. I've been involved in quite a number of what people will call landmark cases, where the arguments we developed were accepted by the courts. One that readily comes to mind is the popular case of Inakoju against Adeleke, which was the case that dealt with the impeachment of Governor Rashid Ladoja for your state in 2005. Before that case, there was no history of a successful challenge of impeachment in Nigeria. Right from Musa against Kaduna House of Assembly, it had always been the court had no jurisdiction. They will throw out the case. But God, using some of our other colleagues, like Ochivola SAN, and a few others, even including the present vice president of this country, he was in the team of that in that matter. We were able to develop a new jurisprudence for our courts on what should happen when an impeachment happened. And to the glory of God, the court brought our argument from the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court and held that a House of Assembly that did not comply with the provisions of Section 182, subsections 1 to 10, cannot take 1 to 9, cannot take benefit of the ouster clause in subsection 10. And that was how God assisted us. Of course, I've had quite a number of such things going forward. There had been a matter, I lost the case in the Supreme Court, but the principle of law that I pushed forward, the Supreme Court brought it, that in appropriate cases, even when a trial court dismisses an application for injunction, it can still go ahead to restrain both parties. That is, a party files an application for injunction, the court says there's no merit in the application, the court can still go ahead to say, we are restraining the two parties based on certain parameters and conditions. So that was an argument that wasn't in our law reports before that matter came, Banibi against Falawyer. So these are the kind of things that, so we have been very lucky. We've had quite, and of course, election petition matters, quite a lot of them. I remember that when the Electoral Act was amended in 2004, we had the privilege, 2011, election before 2007. So there was this provision in the Electoral Act which says that if you had objections and something that you can defer those objections till the final stage of the petition. When we started out with the governorship case in Kwara and then the governorship case in Zamfara to propagate that theory that, look, we have the right to reserve our objections to the tail end of the trials. Many lawyers thought it was not right, but that position was upheld from the tribunal to the Court of Appeal to the Supreme Court. So these are some of the things that you look at and you're happy.
Thank you so much, sir. Our next question is, we'd love you to share with us your most admired advocates.
I have quite a large number of them. There are some advocates that I take them that they are masters when it comes to advocacy. But if you pardon me, I won't want to mention names because I don't want to offend anybody's sensibilities. But I have quite a large number of them, quite a number. Some very, very old, some not quite old, that I know that they are consummate advocates.
Thank you so much, Daniel. I would also want to hear your perspective as regards pupilage. It has been a trending topic in the legal space. But we want to hear your view. What do you think of pupilage for young lawyers?
I happen to be one of the advocates of compulsory pupilage. It should be compulsory. You know, law, the theory is different from the practice. And it's not always good to learn from your own mistakes. It's always good to learn from other people's mistakes. Number two, it's also good to drink from other people's knowledge. I worked under somebody for 11 years before I set up office. And I could see the impact. Which means you are not likely to start out by trial and errors. Law is not something that you just, because you can read the law reports, you have read law books, you think you have had it. No, it's an experience-based, tutelage-based type of profession where you have to learn the ropes. You see, it's not only about law, you also learn about integrity, you learn about the rules of professional ethics. Even you learn about proper dressing. And when you sit in court, you see those who have done well, making submissions, you learn a lot. And it's always good to have somebody who can look at your work and say, look, I don't think this is right, go and correct this. So it's also in the interest of the individuals, as well as in the interest of the profession, and in the interest of the society. Because when you start to use other people's cases as guinea pigs, lives may be lost in the process, careers may be destroyed, businesses may be ruined. But if you have learned from the feet of some of the masters, it assists you a lot. So you won't be taken off from ground zero after pupilage. So it's necessary because it will also protect our profession from abuses. Because when a younger lawyer, you make a mistake, the tendency is for the clients to think that lawyers, that's the way they are. And then when you do something wrong. So if you serve pupilage, you will have seen the ethos and the ethics of the profession at work. And then that will assist you too going forward. So I'm an advocate, unbending advocate of compulsory pupilage. Left to me, I would say we should do it for 5 years. Maybe now say 3 years, fine. So, but I think it's necessary.
Thank you so much, Danielsi. So in similar way, we are actually working on another initiative to actually achieve this aim of pupilage. We are thinking that for students, especially coming from law school at fresh, we want to apply to the office of senior advocate, just like you. So we wouldn't know if you'll be open to receive at least 2-3 of them.
We do that all the time. In this office, I'm sure there are not less than 4 or 5, especially now since that's what has done its normal thing of going on strike. Both in the office here in Ilorin, in Abuja and Ilorin, we have quite a number of people. We've been doing it for years. Not only even for lawyers. We have a very big library in Ilorin. We take students from University of Ilorin and other places who are doing library science to do internship in the office. So we have a lot of interns there from many of the universities around and beyond. Yeah. So it's something that we are open to because mentorship is very important.
Okay, sir, please, what would be your advice to young lawyers having a niche in the legal profession, having a specialization to actually pick? What would be your advice to?
That is the way the world is going now. The days of general practice or the general practitioner is winding up. Specialization is the same now. You can't be a jack of all trades, master in nothing. People must know you for certain cut-edge things. Even though we are general practitioners and these, people know us for certain areas of law. You get my point? So it's almost a sine qua non now that people will have to specialize. Even in our office, we have departments. There's somebody who heads the tax table. It means that's his own thing. It's not that he doesn't do other things. So we have teams in our own office, for example, team. There's a tax, so commercial something team. There is the general litigation team. There is the arbitration team. So that also assists in specialization. So it is the way to go today. To specialize in one area where your core competencies will be better activated.
Thank you so much, Danielsi. Thank you for your time. So, as a parting word, what do you have? What advice do you have to lawyers outside? I don't just want to say young lawyers because we have senior lawyers to watching us. How do you think we can achieve this enviable feat?
Well, my position usually when I'm asked to give opinion or advice, number one, hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Number two, integrity. You must be trustworthy. Number three, you must be loyal to the profession. Once you are loyal to the profession, you'll be loyal to the rule of law and advancement of justice. Number four, humility. Arrogance does not take you to anywhere. It only takes people to ruin. So you must be humble. Remembering at all times that the zenith of your achievement will be the beginning of the achievement of some other people. What you have achieved, you think, oh, you have achieved excellence. Could be very good, only good for some. So humility is also very important. Then you must be focused. Number 6 or 7, don't make your interest in the profession to be only in the material acquisition. You have to pay your dues. I always tell people there is some level of gestation period between your coming to the profession and acquiring a solid reputation. Once you have a good reputation, it will bring money to you. Because people buy reputation, that's what they buy. People come to senior advocates not necessarily because senior advocates are the most brilliant people in the world, but because there is a weight behind their voice. And that is why there are fee differentials. And this is cut across board in the profession all over the world. That is why in big partnerships all over the world, The hourly billing of the senior partner is different from those of those partners or associates. Even when you bill per hour, it's the same thing when you do round robin type of bill. You just one bill fits all. So it's very important that we must appreciate this. Materialism, it's good to be ambitious, but don't have faulty ambition. What took some people 25 years to achieve, don't think you can do it in a year. It doesn't work that way. So, and let's improve on our image, our use of language, the way we appear. Let's build confidence in the people who buy legal work, the clients. Let them know that we are top of our game. And in these days of globalization, the way to go, which I'll be advocating, which we are trying to work on, is to have mergers of big law firms to form mega practices. That's what happens outside. That's why you hear in some places a law firm has more than 1,000 lawyers, 1,500 lawyers. Let's try to build mega practice. That's what is going to sustain legal practice in Nigeria if you don't want to become as slaves to globalization.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
I must confess, it's been an enlightening one with you.
Thank you.
I really want to thank you for sparing the time out of your busy schedule.
No, my pleasure, please. My pleasure.
Thank you so much.